Hey everybody, Joseph here, and there is nothing quite like the classic potato pancake. But instead of being crisp and light, do your potato pancakes turn out soggy, oily, and just disappointing in general? Well, today I'm going to share with you the perfect recipe for potato pancakes. So let's get started. So what is a potato pancake without the potato, right? And you need the right kind of potato when you're making potato pancakes. And today I'm using a russet potato. Now, a russet potato or an Idaho potato, this is a high starch potato. It's not waxy or too high in moisture, and that's really what you're looking for to get something that's nice, crisp, and light in the end. So I'm gonna start by peeling this. I have 4 potatoes that I'm using today. I've already peeled and shredded some over here in this bowl, and I have them hanging out in a little bit of ice water. And you might be saying, okay, that's a little bit weird, right? We don't want soggy potato pancakes, right? So why are we using a bowl of ice water? Well, what we're doing is we are taking off any of the excess starch on the shredded pieces of potato, which will in the end help us to avoid a gummy interior in the inside of your potato pancake. So peel this guy up. And you know what's really great about this recipe is that you could do this step, peeling and shredding your potatoes, in advance. You can let these hang out in the refrigerator. And then when your guests come over, you can assemble the potato pancake batter and fry them off right to order. So using the large side of the box grater here, the big holes, I'm gonna take my potato and I'm going to just shred the potato into nice long strands. And it's really great to have long, beautiful threads of potato, because what they do in the end when you create your pancake, some of these threads kind of extend out beyond the pancake and get really super crispy in the oil. So trying to make the strands as long as possible is a really great kind of tip here. So this is what we're looking for. And again, this is going right into the bowl of ice water. And the one other thing that the ice water does is it helps to prevent any of that oxidation. And that's the discoloring of the potato. So you can see that in the bowl, you're getting like this brownish, pinkish hue. But what's happening is we're gonna wash that away, and then we're going to squeeze these potatoes dry. So in the end, we won't have any kind of brown, oxidizy potato pancakes. All right. So into the ice water, and then just gently mix the shredded potato in with this icy cold water. Again, what we're doing is we're trying to rinse off all of that excess starch. And you can really leave this for about 10 minutes on your kitchen counter or in your refrigerator. Or like I said before, you can do this maybe up to overnight, and the starch will sink down to the bottom of the bowl. And that's really what we're looking for before we take these guys out and we squeeze them dry. So it's been about 10 minutes, and now it's time to drain our potatoes. Now you can do this with your hands, or you could use a slotted spoon or a colander if you would like, but I like to just pick up the potato strands, squeeze them gently in my hands to remove any excess water, and then put them in a clean kitchen towel. And now what we're gonna do is we're going to squeeze all of the moisture out of these potatoes. Now this is a very important step here, again, because what we're trying to do is we don't wanna end up with a soggy or gummy potato pancake in the end. So really removing all of that moisture is key in creating a light and crisp potato pancake. All right. So I think I got a good amount of moisture out of these potatoes. I'm gonna put these off to the side. You can see that they've dried out a bit, and these are gonna be perfect for our potato pancakes. Now, I'm going to drain the water from this bowl here, and I'm gonna leave just a little bit of the potato starch in the bottom of the bowl, and I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with that next. All right, so as you can see in the bowl here, there's just the potato starch remaining. And this is kind of a little bit of a secret ingredient. You wanna make sure you keep a little bit of that potato starch, because what it's gonna do is it's gonna help create nice structure for your potato pancakes. So into the reserved potato starch here, I'm going to add the shredded potatoes. All of these guys go right in. I have one small onion here that I've grated as well, and this is gonna add really fantastic flavor. 2 eggs, and these just need to be beaten slightly before you add them in. And again, the eggs will help in creating nice structure for your pancakes. And really, you know, when we say pancakes here, they're actually fritters. So the eggs and a little bit of flour, which we'll add, are going to help maintain a nice shape. So 2 eggs right in. And now for a little bit of fun and a little bit of bubbles, I have some beer here. You want to use a nice light beer, nothing that's too dark or too flavorful, because really what we're doing here with the beer is we're adding lightness. These bubbles are really going to expand when they get into the hot oil, and they're going to create really nice, lofty and light and crisp potato pancakes. So all I really need is 1/4 cup of the light beer, 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, a tablespoon of coarse kosher salt. So you might say, oh wow, that seems like a lot of salt, but you really do need a generous amount of salt to season all of these potatoes. It's really important to make sure that you're using enough seasoning. So if you wanted to add a little bit of spice here, you certainly could do that. Some cayenne pepper would be fantastic. So I'm just gonna mix this up. And actually, you know, a question that gets asked a lot when it comes to alcohol is people ask for substitutes. So I'm sure you could, if you were opposed to using beer, you could use a little bit of seltzer water, again, to add that lightness. So as you can see, with the ingredients that I've added to this mix, these aren't overly wet. They're not gummy or, you know, pancake battery. This is a very light mixture. It's full of those beautiful strands of potatoes. So in the end, this is gonna be great, guys, because we're gonna get something that's really crisp and delicious on the outside, and it's not gonna be gummy and oversaturated with, you know, flour and egg in the inside, because we're not using too much of those ingredients. You really just wanna make sure that you're giving this a nice mix here so that all of the ingredients are evenly distributed, all of the seasoning is evenly distributed. And over here, I have a really large cast iron skillet. This is about a 12-inch cast iron skillet. The reason I'm using cast iron today is because it retains heat really well. So a lot of people like to use cast iron for frying because it helps to maintain an even temperature over a long period of time. All right, so this looks thoroughly mixed. And now a good tip here, guys, if you don't have a thermometer on hand to test the temperature of your oil, what you can do is just take a strand of potato and place it in the oil, and what should happen is it should immediately start to bubble and the potato should rise to the top of the pan, which it's doing right here. So this means that you're ready to shape and place your potato pancakes. So I'm gonna start doing that now. Now I'm using a neutral flavored oil here, nothing, you know, not olive oil. This is a really nice safflower oil. You could use a grapeseed oil, anything that has a high temperature to it or a high smoke point. And I'm using a 1/2 cup ice cream scoop here. Now you could certainly use a scoop like this, or you could use a standard 1/2 cup measure. Now take your potato batter, I guess I'll call it, give it a light squeeze in the cup, and then place this right in your oil and leave it just like this before we start pressing it down to make it into a nice flat fritter. So I'm gonna repeat the process, and again, I think I could fit about maybe 3 or 4 in this pan. You don't wanna overcrowd whenever you're frying. Try not to put too many things in the oil at one time. Otherwise, what's gonna happen is you're gonna end up dropping the oil temperature, and ultimately whatever you're frying will become kind of soggy and oversaturated in oil. So I think 3 is good here. And just take a fish spatula or anything flat and press the potato pancakes out into a nice thin layer. And these potato pancakes over medium-high heat will take about 4 to 6 minutes. You wanna flip halfway through, so I'm gonna let these guys cook for about 2 to 3 minutes, and I'll check on them to make sure they're nice and golden brown. All right, it's been about 3 minutes, and you can see the potatoes around the edges are starting to turn a wonderful golden brown. So I'm gonna try and flip these over. So just scoot underneath the fritter and then gently turn it over. It's so beautiful and golden brown, and it's really crisp on the outside. So I'm gonna flip these over, and this is gonna take another 3 minutes on this other side to get nice and golden and crisp. All right, it's been another 3 minutes and the potato pancakes look gorgeous. Now I'm gonna drain these on a wire rack set over a rimmed baking sheet. And like I said, guys, I always love to do this. This is my favorite technique. I don't like to put fried foods directly on a piece of paper towel because I think it encourages steam to build. And what will happen is the bottom side of whatever you fried is gonna get a little soggy. So right after these potato pancakes come out of the frying oil, just give them a sprinkling of salt. Now, what you can do is you can repeat the process with the rest of your potato pancake batter, fry them off in batches, and keep these in a low oven, about 200 degrees, so they stay nice and warm and crisp. I'm actually gonna just try one of these right now because they smell so delicious, and I actually cannot wait because I love potato pancakes. Now, you could serve this with whatever you'd like. I'm using a little bit of sour cream today. You could certainly use creme fraiche on top of these delicious and crisp potato pancakes and a little bit of chives. But really, this recipe for potato pancakes is honestly one of the best that I've tried. It is super crisp. Can you hear this? And yet they're light on the inside and not soggy, gummy, or oily in the end. Now, as always, guys, if you have any kitchen conundrums, holiday conundrums, baking conundrums, whatever those conundrums might be, reach out to us using the hashtag Kitchen Conundrums. We love to hear from you. We love to see if you're making our recipes too, so share that as well. Enjoy, guys. And as always, guys, click like and subscribe.